Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the DarkMatch. This is the week in WWE for May the 12th, 2012. I am Christopher Says, DarkMatch's Mastodon of the Monotone, as always. With me is...
I am the Lord Star.
I am Pistachio Muffin.
He's Ali, and I'm the Match Striker of DarkMatch Mega Fighter Premium with what is Iron Sheik tweeting now? For the Mother's Day, I hope the Hulk Hogan get raped the old country way by this dog. Hashtag Team Sheik.
Ew.
And
Oh, look, he
following
wants...
that is a link to a picture of a small dog.
Oh, look, he wants something ill to happen to Hulk Hogan and possibly involving him becoming sexual prey.
He's jumped the shark. My God.
I don't know.
Also, the shark humble.
That is one creepy ass puppy.
I mean, got a lot of love for Iron Sheik, but perhaps we should look a little bit deeper.
This is a dog that just says, tonight, you.
Man, gotta
Wait,
dig deep.
what are you talking about, Mega?
The
Can
dog
banana.
that Shiki linked in the tweet.
Okay.
Let me look at that dog.
Well, be that as it may, we are going to talk about WWE Raw. This is the penultimate week in the lead up to Over the Limit, and I didn't really have a problem with both shows. SmackDown had some fun in it. Raw had a very special guest who we haven't seen in years and who I never had any indication we'd see in the ring, but we'll get to that. Instead, we start with someone who I didn't think we'd see this time 1 year ago, John Lauranitis. I'm still quite amazed that he's an on-screen character after all these very hellish legends surrounding him, his hiring habits, his conduct around people.
Yeah. And also, Michael
Here he
Cole,
is.
He's a real-life heel.
pretty much, Michael Cole says the most base-ish thing about Johnny Ace. He said that he's probably the most polarizing man on the WWE roster.
Well, he also said, like, I mean, Cole he does play the heel. There have been rumors that he's going to kind of go lax. He's kind of going to be a bit more of like an edgy sort of, I guess Jesse the Body Ventura kind of voice, where he favors he goes from favoring the heels to kind of saying, oh, maybe the guy does have a point. Especially when he wasn't behind John Laurinaitis taking his anger out on John Cena's injured arm. But nonetheless,
we actually see that a lot. Maybe once or twice during Raw, but we'll get to those.
Yep.
Go ahead, Chris.
Nonetheless,
Yeah.
at this point, Michael Cole talks about how John Laurinaitis is pretty much going to have to explain himself, but he goes and does it. The first thing he talks about how Cena basically embarrassed him and called him names. He made fun of his voice. And whenever he loses his temper, you wouldn't like John Laurinaitis when he's angry. He goes into a, quote, fit of destruction that nobody can comprehend.
Johnny Smash!
Brock Lesnar injured Cena's arm, but Johnny Ace injured Cena's pride.
Johnny Ace, you're not the Hulk.
No, I don't. It's... And this is kind of what I'll get into in terms of his character. I think they're trying to make him seem like a serious threat, but like I don't know whether it's his delivery or just also maybe they aren't. But he just sounds so flimsy saying that. It's just so goofy.
Yeah,
it's maybe I'm speaking from the perspective of a smart Mark, but like I don't.
Smart Mark.
I just don't. It was. I enjoy it, but it's like a fit of destruction that nobody can understand. That's just. It's almost campy. Essentially, the board of directors didn't yell at him. He was tough because they think he's tough but fair. And Cena won't be here. He'll be doing his interview live via satellite. He'll be addressing the attack. But nonetheless, Laurinaitis hopes Cena will get therapy so that he has no excuses at Over the Limit. But he essentially says. He ends his segment by saying, rule number 1 about WWE, don't make fun of Johnny Ace's voice. If you do, I'll take my anger out on you. Like the whole WWE is on notice. I wasn't born like this. I wasn't Brian Pillman. I went to Japan, got injured, and my voice changed. But nonetheless, he tore through Japan, and he was the equivalent of Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, The Rock. And that's I kind of like the
Damn it, Allie.
My ass.
Yeah, the gifts are all there of him doing a very lax ace crusher to Misawa and him just tumbling over. But Punk is soon to interrupt. He makes fun of Lauranitis, essentially says he's going around spouting revisionist history, which is just not far from the truth at all. And he says he's going to beat Daniel Bryan over the limit, and he's going to watch Cena make Lauranitis tap.
Submission expert.
You know,
John
so
Cena.
yeah, and also during the whole thing, he said that Johnny Ace should probably just stay off screen.
Yeah, that seems to be Punk's bone to pick with John Laurinaitis. The fact that he's on the show at all.
Yeah.
How dare a head representative show up on screen? Wait, that happened before.
But nonetheless, Punk goes out of control. He calls him stupid, calls him ugly, says Laurinaitis has no friends, and goes with the oldie but goodie that John Laurinaitis is a toolbox. He's finished. Laurinaitis threatens him. Says if it wasn't for his preparation for his match, he'd give the beating of his life. He'd put him out of his misery and his career. But since you make,
I will go surfer dude on your ass.
yeah, I'll call Shane Douglas. He's too busy. He's too busy in the gutter to help me right now. But if I ask for him, nonetheless, Punk, because you made fun of me, I'm gonna book you versus Lord Tensai for tonight.
Yep, pretty much.
And Punk goes, whatever. I can't wait for Cena to beat you.
It's just a hip hop hippo.
Oh shit, Skippy's on. Sorry for their comment last night, Skippy.
Yeah, I'll kick your ass later.
He's trained in 7 various martial arts.
After
Including Drunk Fu and Krav Maga.
Indeed. Sadly, 4 of them are flailing around like a girl.
And one of them's doing a sloppy ace crusher.
Yes.
So yeah,
Okay, moving on.
up next we have Big Show versus Cody Rhodes for the IC title.
Well, before that, we cut back to Johnny Ace berating Big Show, and as Johnny Ace was leaving, Big Show mimics him.
Yep.
Well, it came off to me more as sarcastic than mimicking because Big Show pretty much sounded pretty much the same. But then he gets caught by Eve Tessmacher.
I don't know. I say she kind of devolved into the Tessmacher role, and Tessmacher kind of became Eve, only much better in the ring.
Yeah.
Fuck, they switched places.
She could do a drop kick.
Yeah. And by the way, Eve caught Big Show in the same way that John Cena caught her when when Eve was being so happy for that kiss that she got from John Cena, and pretty much admitted that she was using Ryder to get to the top.
Yeah. She's a heel.
Yeah, heel things.
Oh, and also one more thing, King keeps on trying to rewrite history by saying that the Cody Rhodes Big Show finish at Extreme Rules was an accident, even though everyone pretty much saw Cody Rhodes drop kicking the right knee of the Big Show, and it made him step back and step through the table, which is technically putting him through the table. I would have been more fine with it though if it was, heel and the heel commentary guy doing the thing. But
Yeah,
that's
but
just me.
nonetheless, that Intercontinental title rematch is up next. And it's pretty much Cody getting pissed off for getting hurt too much by Big Show and leaving, getting a count out.
Yeah. And right after Cody Rhodes gets counted out, Eve comes out. Eve Tessmacher tries to make Big Show apologize for making fun of Ace. He does it, but she doesn't buy it at first. He apologizes again, and Eve makes fun of his size and yeah.
Oh, this little. I just don't understand. This small woman is hurting his feelings.
Yeah, I mean, if this was like back when there was like back
I mean,
before the whole
all he can do is like puff out his chest a little and just stare down at her, and she'd like piss herself. He wouldn't even have to do anything.
Well,
He just
that's what
huffs and puffs and blows her ass down.
we can't even do that nowadays because of the whole violence against
Ew.
women thing.
Not like that, Allie.
Yeah, well, they hype Punk versus Tenside's forthcoming match and also announce Alberto Del Rio and Chris Jericho versus Sheamus and Orton. We have a commercial break. We see a recap of Kofi and R-Truth winning the tag titles from Primo and Epico. And our next match is a singles featuring one half of the new tag champions. Kofi versus Dolph Ziggler. This, again, wasn't much of a match. The Raw and SmackDown had a large volume of matches, but the matches themselves didn't really have.
Yeah, they were all kind of short.
Yeah, this was, and surrounding this was Primo, Epico, Rosa Mendez, and AW. They're yeah, who gives a damn? That definitely is my reaction every time I see him on screen.
Well, we see later. Well, I don't know. After this, well, we should get to what happens after this match.
Well, not really.
Well,
I think that there were some, like, Kofi and Ziggler work very well together. I mean, it was short in the sense that it was fast paced and like they did a bunch of very, very impressive stuff. That most of the story was Swagger and Vicky ran interference while Ziggler picked up the win with a zigzag. But nonetheless, there was some good stuff. Kofi hit a great SOS. Ziggler took it incredibly well, as you'd expect from him.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't mention that with Abraham Washington, Epico Primo, and Rosa, Mason Ryan appears near them, and I thought he was supposed to be a face most recently.
Nope.
I guess they don't want him to cut promos.
Yeah, they pretty much made him.
Ryan was on the show.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he appeared. He appeared on screen after the match when they cut back to the aforementioned 4, and he just appears on screen, and he pretty much it's implied that Mason Ryan is now part of Puerto Rican American.
But he's Welsh.
Yeah, I guess I can't really call him that anymore, even though it was. Well, yeah, I don't want to get into TNA territory here.
No, I mean, okay, so you can have a vaguely to Latino guy join your team, and okay, this guy's Welsh.
Well, I mean, not like only one guy in Mexican American is Mexican, and Hernandez is Puerto Rican.
But we'll see. The point is, WWE wouldn't stoop that low.
Well, there's a rule of close enough, okay?
Actually, if it was a few years ago, they might.
Close enough.
Yeah.
But Mason Ryan, yeah, he throws a good power slam, and that's about all I could say for him. We have our Michael Cole interviewing Cena via satellite segment, and
yeah,
it was pretty much your typical face wants to beat the heel promo.
Well, yeah, it was your typical Cena. He goes over. He talks about the doctors not wanting him to compete for at least a few months. He says they don't know him. He's a determinator. He's not going to give up. He's going to give Lauranitis his all, bad arm and all. And Cole tries to troll him by saying, like, oh, I think you're scared of Johnny Ace, even though from what he's been saying, he gave absolutely no indication. His face did not did not betray any of that, because I mean, usually especially when you're John Cena, who's decent enough at getting his point across, if you're a wrestler, you're going to want to be over the top. You're going to know if there's any fear in John Cena, and there was just absolutely none.
Yeah.
I never really saw Cena, nor should Cole, as someone who carries a veneer. But I digress. Not much to say about this promo. Cena says he's going to give Lauranitis the biggest beating of his life, and that's that.
We go to commercial and we come back to Natalya and Maxine getting the jobber answered.
Yep. Well, one half of those I'd consider a jobber. I mean, Maxine's all right. She's pretty good in terms of her personality. She could be a very easy heel, but her ring work leaves some to be desired. Nonetheless, as you'd expect, Layla does most of the work, and this match is short and arguably sweet.
Well, the only thing I have to point out is that when Kelly knocked Natalya off the apron, she just screamed for just really loudly. I'm not saying that she's a harpy like the rest of the Spoonie experiment forms. I'm just saying that's kind of weird, especially if you're trying to do something stealthy. You know, the whole knocking the person off the apron thing in the tag matches. That's supposed to be a stealth move, and yet Kelly screams going into it.
People realize the ref is deaf.
I guess so, Allie.
Because there's always like screaming and sounds of people getting hit by chairs and shit, and he doesn't notice. So.
Well, actually, no. I remember when Eddie Guerrero was doing his I steal thing. Some of the finishes was he would bang the chair on the mat to get the ref's attention. The ref would turn around slow enough, and then Eddie Guerrero would just toss the chair into the opponent's hands, and then plays dead, and his opponent gets disqualified.
It's a different time.
But that was the only time that the ref was not deaf.
But now I think he lost his hearing or something, because there has to be a reason why he doesn't hear this shit.
And he probably has to do karaoke with Karen Jarrett and Vicky Guerrero.
Oh my god.
But yeah, suffice it to say, like, this is the Divas match that you'd find in the WWE. It was 3 minutes
pretty
long.
much.
Layla wins. Kelly screams. They won. We have our next match, which is Del Rio and Jericho versus Orton and Sheamus. And again, as expected, this was the one long match of the show.
And I'm sorry to say that I felt really nothing for this match. It just felt like padding to me.
It just felt like they were like spacing something out.
I thought that they were phoning it in, but like you're still getting a pretty entertaining thing with them.
Wait, he came out in a Ferrari?
Oh yeah, Del Rio definitely had a good-looking car.
Yeah, well, I think
I'm curious. I'm a car fan.
Mostly last night.
But yeah, it was fun enough. Like Del Rio is like always good. He's the main point of interest is Sheamus's bad arm. Del Rio targets it. It's perfectly fitting for his finish.
Yeah.
They were going at it, and eventually what happens is there's confusion when Sheamus bro kicks Randy Orton instead of hitting one of his ducking opponents, and
it was Chris Jericho.
Jericho just code breaks Sheamus, and the heels win.
The heels win.
And after the match, I shouted yes to this when Sheamus tries to console Orton just RKO's Sheamus out of nowhere. Oh
yeah, that well, I wouldn't call that out of nowhere. I definitely expected that to happen.
Out of somewhere.
Randy Orton is it
was an okay match, but it just didn't solve anything.
Yeah, and to me and probably for some people, it probably brought some closure to the whole 18 seconds thing in WrestleMania. I mean, I just wanted to see Sheamus, just eat a finisher out of nowhere or somewhere, as Ali said.
Out of some place that was not really expected.
So So now I could put WrestleMania 28 behind me.
Pretty much.
I can't.
I mean, I pretty much put WrestleMania 28 behind me after Daniel Bryan got himself over and was in a very good match.
Yeah, to be honest, I kind of put it behind me when Daniel Bryan kicked him in the face so many times he passed out.
But also of note, after the match, Jericho takes the World Heavyweight title and starts proclaiming it his because he pinned the champion.
With foreshadowing, folks.
Very common heel trope.
Yeah, but there's actually some good foreshadowing here because after the break, we cut back into Johnny Ace's office, and Chris Jericho just runs into the office, and he says, "Hey, look at me! I beat the champion in a tag match. You should book me as #1 contender for."
Also, I see a typo. It says Rel Rio. Scooby-Doo commentating this.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I mean, like he says that he beat the champ in the tag match, and he wants a title shot now. For Over the Limit. And then Del Rio comes in and he says that he shouldn't lose his spot for #1 contendership because he already earned it.
It's kind of weird. You don't really know where the heels stand if they're bantering between each other. But I think it's good enough setup for Johnny Ace to book the Fatal 4-Way. Like,
well, I was going to go get to the last person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was about to say. Then Orton jumps in and says that he should be #1 contender where he really doesn't have a claim. Because his only real claim is that he accidentally ate a bro kick.
His only real claim is he's Randy Orton.
That too. And then there was a beatdown, and then Sheamus jumps in, and then the faces stay triumphant for a second before they start arguing, and then Johnny Ace books the Fatal 4-Way. I pretty much saw the Fatal 4-Way coming when Randy Orton came into Johnny Ace's office.
Yeah, to be honest, it was kind of a chocolate in my peanut butter moment.
Well, honestly, if you saw it coming, then it was probably a good idea because that just means that it's adequate build-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make it not a Fatal 4-Way.
But our next attraction is Brodus Clay versus The Miz. Good, yay! He's actually fighting real opponents.
Yeah, and
this
I have to know.
Probably the closest to a normal match he's gotten so far.
Yeah, but still, the matches are
on free TV.
On free TV.
Because I remember him having like a...
Also, for some reason, I kept thinking of Barney the Dinosaur when his little head popped up and said, "Don't forget to call your mama on Mother's Day."
Oh, yeah. That's one of those picture-in-picture things. And of course, The Miz belittles him. I mean, this is the kind of feud that writes itself just based on how seriously The Miz takes himself.
Yeah. And also, while Brodus Clay was making his entrance, and okay, I'll spoil it for SmackDown, neither time when Brodus Clay came out this week, he did not come out with Hornswoggle. Good.
I have no problem with that. I'm glad they dropped that like a bad habit.
So pretty much that one time when those 2 times that Hornswoggle was with Brodus Clay was pretty much a big-lipped alligator moment.
Yep.
I was just going to say that when Hornswoggle is a walking, talking, breathing, living -1 star.
That's true.
He removes 1 star from anything he's with.
I agree.
And also during
that angle like a little person.
And also during his promo before the match, The Miz makes a reference to Punch Out. He says that he's going to try to knock out Brodus Clay like King Hippo.
No, yeah, he said if I wanted to fight a fat, lazy King Hippo, I'd just play Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah.
That
was pretty good. That was a pretty good reference from The Miz.
It's one that everyone's made, but it's one that we're glad to see on TV.
Yeah.
He might turn into a neutral party if he ever says nobody tosses a dwarf.
And also, I have to say, even though Brodus Clay won the match, even though Miz got most of the offense, it did not look like a fluke at all.
No.
Unlike when Crimson was booked to mostly lose a match and then roll up out of nowhere, which makes it look more like a fluke.
Or Randy Orton does that. I mean,
the thing is, it kind of makes it look like that he actually has to start trying now.
Yeah,
which is good enough. I mean, I do like his finish, the setup with the T-bone and then the splash.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
nonetheless,
Brodus
this could have
Clay
had a
is-
bit more significance, gotten to like maybe 5 more minutes, and it would have been fun for people to see. I mean, I really hope that it's not against Brodus Clay's capacity or above his capacity, but
Yeah.
I think he can handle it. He just kind of has to just play a certain role right.
We go from that to, oh shit, it's Paul Heyman.
yeah, I that was, oh my god, that was a treat.
Yeah, this was the second time that I marked out tonight. The first time being that
I don't know.
WrestleMania closure to me.
I don't know if I heard this wrong, but I thought he said I'm Brock Lesnar at one point.
He is Brock Lesnar's. Well, he's pretty much reprising his role as Brock Lesnar's business partner.
Essentially mouthpiece. He talks because Brock Lesnar himself can't talk, and God
Yeah,
damn,
as
can Heyman talk. Holy shit!
And let's just say 10 years later, nothing has changed.
Yeah, especially with if we remember the Cena Lesnar feud.
Pith.
Heyman completely milks all the promotion. He calls him the undisputed WWE champion, the undisputed UFC heavyweight champion, the NCAA Division I champion. All like just draws him out, like puts the right emphasis on him. He's as over the top as wrestling calls for. And in Brock Lesnar's personal statement, he has no regrets for hurting Cena and Triple H. Triple H is a bullshit politicker. He left for those reasons years ago, and he comes back only to find that people are still politicking. He doesn't care for Triple H, the WWE's corporate suits, and he is never coming back. Quits.
It's a work.
Of course, well, yeah, of course it's a work, but
of course it's a work. He has like 36 work dates on this contract. It's
working quite right, also, because the crowd is taking him as a heel. Like everyone was very excited to see him back, and it ain't the case now. He's getting over pretty well, and Paul is no small factor in it.
They apparently use this as a thing to not waste all his show updates.
Yeah, and also I remember when after Brock Lesnar called it quits via letter, the crowd started cheering.
And to be honest, I'm okay with Paul Heyman being here.
Yeah, I doubt he'll even come back. Like I don't even care. Like I'm glad they still have like a nice working relationship, but. Nonetheless, Paul Heyman.
Sorry.
He punctuates the promo with the greatest. Yeah, fuck you guys, I'm out of here, and he just drops the mic.
Yeah, which actually got gifted to on the Spooning Experiment forums.
Yay!
Thing of beauty. But we recap Lauranitis booking the match between Punk and Tensai, and Big Show. We have Big Show backstage with the USA Network, their new primetime show with that guy from Barbershop and some other guy, and they basically say, "What the hell are you apologizing for? You're a pussy." Well, not in those words. They make fun of John Laurinaitis' voice. Big Show starts laughing. Eve sees this. Eve calculates.
Though we will see the end result of this on SmackDown.
She's gonna hurt my feelings again.
Which is, hey, they're actually doing something with the fact that the brand separation is gone.
Yeah.
But we're going to have our main event for the night. But instead of having just a singles match, it now becomes CM Punk versus Lord Tensai and Daniel Bryan. That's what CM Punk gets for fucking with John Laurinaitis. And hey, it's not that long of a match. But again, it's still fun.
Yeah, but DS thing is starting to become a little bit infectious with the roster because during the finish of this match, oh boy, the last person that you ever thought to yes is
who?
Lord Tensai.
Oh,
I
totally
I don't remember that because I was just thinking to myself, man, how awesome would it be if Tensai just goes hi. But like his character is way too deadpan serious to do that. He really did. I don't remember that.
It was
Like I
more of a
would.
growly. It was more of a monster
Yes.
heel growly. Yes, like yes, yes, like that.
Yeah.
He's also
Yes.
adding the surge to Daniel
Yes.
Bryan, but as you'd expect, the match, while being short, was effective enough. They show Bryan picking him apart, and by the end of the night, he has CM Punk in the yes lock while chanting yes. Funnily
Yeah,
enough,
I found that attack though to be very hammy because of the yes thing.
I don't. It's
Or
again.
was it or would it be Narmi?
I don't think it's either. I think it fits just how crazily up his own ass Daniel Bryan is.
Well, I have to say one thing though, those barricades were pretty well chewed by the end of this attack. And the stage.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a part of the
Ropes
ring.
too.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they were able to
And the
rebuild.
turnbuckle pads like George the Animal Steel.
Yeah, I was surprised that they were able to rebuild the whole thing for SmackDown this week.
Oh yeah. I also forgot to mention that Lord Tensai did quite. I'm not sure if Punk was sandbagging, but he did quite the sloppy Albert bomb to him.
Yeah, but there was more of that in SmackDown too, in a different match,
Yeah, maybe.
which we're probably heading into right now. Well, final thoughts on Raw.
Final thoughts. It was a good enough show. It wasn't like outstanding, but like I enjoyed it.
It was a pretty good 2 weeks out Raw.
It was okay, but it just had this feel like it was bridging something.
Yeah,
Again-
well, yeah, we're pretty much like we're now like 8 days away from over the limit. Wow, why
Yeah, I
does it
mean,
have-
but hey, if they're saving their real hype for tomorrow's Raw, I mean Raw in 2 days, then
And this is the day Max realizes he's in a Groundhog Day loop.
oh shit. Not just Max, but probably me out of school.
Yeah, this was indeed a good filler for the upcoming Over the Limit.
Yeah,
Really not
I
much
hope
to
next
say.
week. I hope next week's a little more poignant.
Well, I mean, it felt.
Well, I should hope. We should
Well, I
hope.
mean, it felt a lot less nothing than impacted. I'll say that.
Oh,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah,
There are things that I was amused by.
Yeah,
It felt like they were advancing here.
yeah, and
I
there
was-
was. Yeah, and I still think that the whole reveal of how they handled the reveal of that one angle in TNA was a letdown. So yeah.
I think that most of the show, including that whole James Storm package, was a letdown.
Yeah, but
Dun,
let's.
dun.
Well, why are we talking about TNA on a WWE show?
I don't know. You brought it up.
I just
Started
came
it.
to that realization. So let's quickly segue into SmackDown.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We start off recapping the whole beef between Sheamus, Randy Orton, Del Rio, and Chris Jericho. The perfect friction. I mean, I apologize. I kind of did say I'm like, oh, look at the heels, they're bickering, but yeah, it's like a perfect kind of friction that you want for a fatal four-way, where it's not clear that the heels are just going to gang up and attack the faces.
Kind of a rocky alliance.
Yes,
Yeah,
maybe.
and also, well, I have to make this comparison, but the show opens, not with the intro for SmackDown, but with our opening match.
Thank Christ. I really couldn't care less about Green Day.
The current SmackDown theme is not a wrestling theme. Come on,
Yeah,
choose
it's quite
something
embarrassing.
else.
Sure, there might be things about enemies in it, but
Yeah,
But
it's just
there's a lot of
this
other
is-
songs called The Enemy.
yeah. And they probably sound a lot more amped up and exciting to listen to for a wrestling program, but alas, Green
Yeah, I mean, this is not a real good song to get people hyped up. It's too laid back.
Yeah,
Wait.
Green Day is average.
I mean when you make
guys wanna
people
wrestle?
when you make
Yeah.
people like Nickelback, then
I actually like the current Raw theme.
no, I do. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's
Yeah, I mean, I remember personal experience again, but I remember when the dancer team for my local box lacrosse team, when they used to come out, they used to come out to the current Raw theme.
Uh-huh.
Well, to be honest, now that I think about it, pretty good SmackDown theme might be the one from the wrestling game.
Here Comes the
Yeah.
Pain, or
No, like the
SmackDown
Oleander
2.
fight thing.
The what?
WWE 12.
Ah, yeah. That
I'm
even
not a
that's a
fan
better
of that theme.
even that's a better wrestling theme than Your Enemy.
Because
Yeah,
it's called
I mean,
fight.
we don't have to keep talking about
You fight that.
how many better things. Well, rather, if we just continue talking about better themes than Know Your Enemy, we'd be here for another 3 hours. We
But
may as
what-
well talk about
Randy
Sheamus
Orton?
and Randy Orton versus Chris Jericho and Alberto Del Rio. A bad idea,
Yeah,
but it's John Laurinaitis, and he wants to stir the pot, and it devolves. It's a no contest.
I thought it said with Ricardo Rodriguez, but no cat. I'm like, what?
Basically, because Sheamus is very vicious against Del Rio for targeting his arm. That's what the heels do. They do have an alliance, but
it
uh,
you
nonetheless,
you'll see what
it's
happens
not
when
the
we
kind
go
of
through the
friction
show.
that we need. So we have our spots. Orton does his IADDT. Jericho, I believe, teases a code. No, actually, Jericho doesn't get too many of his signature offense in beyond maybe the Enziguri.
He tries to go for the Walls of Jericho on Sheamus, but
Ah.
Sheamus counters it.
No Cloverleaf teases, but I'm guessing Sheamus busts out that move for heel submission specialists like Daniel Bryan. So we have our match, Friction. Sheamus attacks Del Rio, Jericho attacks Sheamus. Randy Orton's all alone to be the loner in the face of everyone else, and the DQ occurs.
Well, no contest.
Because of a DQ.
No, it's officially called a no contest.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, none of the announcers said who win. They just said I think either Cole. I think one of the commentators said that.
Yeah, they're just throwing. Cole said they're throwing it away.
Yeah,
It never happened.
But
it's weird because sometimes when you watch Raw and then SmackDown, it feels like they're doing the same exact thing but kind of different.
I mean, hey, they're just progressing like the general atmosphere for the Fatal 4-Way match. Only now, I guess they're hinting that Sheamus and Jericho and Del Rio might be on the same page.
We'll see at the end of the show.
Yep. Well, Eve says that John Laurinaitis is not happy that there wasn't a result in one of the matches he booked. So Orton will face Del Rio and Sheamus will face Chris Jericho. And there will be just viciousness between two people and not involving four people. Our next match is AJ Lee versus Caitlyn. As they recap when AJ just slapped the ever-living taste out of Caitlyn's mouth.
Yeah, there was a good sell by Caitlyn on how she took it.
It was a fucking huge slap. Like, I mean, you really get the idea that they're such friends because, man, does Caitlyn trust AJ enough to hit her that hard. But
God, this description is just one sentence.
Yeah, their match. Well, 3 sentences. But
yeah.
Nonetheless, it's just AJ going completely nuts on Caitlyn, them rolling around, and then her shining wizarding the fuck out of Caitlyn, getting the win.
Yeah, and soon after, and after a little bit after the finish, the Master of Ham's music hits. Daniel Bryan.
Now remember, among all hams, there are quite a few hams in the WWE, but yeah, I guess Daniel Bryan is the master of them.
Yep. That's why I give him his
moniker. The biggest ham is a vegan.
He's a vegan. He is the
veggie burger.
No, he's the tofu ham.
But yeah, he essentially puts over AJ in a sort of tease. He's like, "What passion, what gusto! You're so ruthless, and especially it being your best friend. You say you truly sent me a message. I'm seeing you in a new light, and despite there being so much, in his words, angst and tension between the two since WrestleMania, he's going to move past it. He'll become the new WWE champion at Over the Limit, and he's going to move on. He's really looking forward to it. he's going to move on to Caitlyn. And Daniel Bryan very much abusively relishes at the reaction AJ gives him.
Yeah, but just a bit.
I'm a dick.
It's like you could almost call it corpsing, but then again, you'd kind of get the idea that she's completely crazy from both the obsession and him dragging her
And
mud.
the kind of Stockholm syndrome thing that was going.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
like considering the No Way Out poster, the very gloriously campy No Way Out poster, we could guess that AJ is just going to become a crazy but very cute stalker.
Yeah, or
She'll never get rid of that second trait.
yeah, no, yeah. Do I remember on that poster that someone photoshopped Sheamus's face onto the train?
Oh yeah, that's easily the coup de grace that poster. If only they had.
Oh no!
And we transition from that match to our next match: Daniel Bryan versus The Big Show.
Yep, another very short affair. I mean, keep in mind, folks, this is match number 3 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There were 10
10.
fun-sized matches on this week's edition of SmackDown.
It's like Halloween.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hmm.
Except there are
Muppets.
such a wow.
Yeah, but this match, well, but then again, the shortness of this match is here to help further the storyline with The Big Show, where pretty much the finish of this match is Daniel Bryan applies the yes lock, and right immediately after the yes lock gets applied, the bell rings. Even though Big Show
Daniel
never
Bryan just
tapped.
gets that crossface in, and then the bell rings. John Laurinaitis appears out of the crowd, essentially appears out of the timekeeper's booth and deems Daniel Bryan the winner. Bryan goes to the back chanting yes, presumably, and
much to the chagrin of the face commentators.
yeah, Josh Matthews is kind of neutral. I mean, well, in the sense that he doesn't say anything, and the fact that Booker and Cole have been drowning him out for the past 8 months is he's lost like every single ounce of skill and appeal he's had. I feel bad for him, honestly. I don't think that was the way for him to go. I think he's a decent enough commentator. I think he could and should, but probably wouldn't be the one to replace Michael Cole. But nonetheless, Booker T is disappointed about this. The Big Show looks like he's about to cry as he always does every time he loses, and John Laurinaitis grabs him by the balls and asks him to apologize, figuratively, of course.
Yeah, and Johnny Ace says that the apology didn't seem too sincere, so they're going to drag this out into the go home show next week on Raw.
Now, despite popular belief, Johnny Ace is not a woman. So, what's keeping Big Show from striking him down with the WMD?
Probably because both Johnny Ace and Eve Tessmacher said that there's really no demand for someone as big as him. Of course, I'm putting it nicer because I'm not a heel.
Yeah.
Can I be a heel?
Both Eve and Johnny Ace call Big Show a freak.
No, Al, you can't be a heel. You're too nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially, John Laurinaitis cans this whole humiliation of Big Show. He caps it off by saying that, well, Brock Lesnar revolutionized the WWE at Extreme Rules. He's going to shake the foundation of the entire company by humiliating John Cena and ending his career. Yeah, that's kind of funny, isn't it? Tickles the bone under your arm.
Yeah, and he pretty much ends the promo with his catchphrase, "People power."
Relatively ineffective, but that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
We come back from commercial to have Heath Slater with a mic, and I love Heath Slater. The guy, his promos, his inflection it's like a water slide of hayseedism. I just like, wow, the ways he starts to tear down Ryback. Physically, he might look like the epitome of evolution, but to me, he's like a caveman with a pea brain. Not going to get any more into it. But I'm starting to warm up to Heath Slater finally as just the most nothing lovable jobber ever.
The like to hate type.
Didn't take him
Didn't take
him an internet show to do it, and this isn't tearing down Zack Ryder, but they have a different appeal.
Yeah.
Ryback comes in, and Heath Slater is probably the one to get the most offense on him. He gets a lot of kicks in before Ryback starts this is Spartang and tearing him down.
Yeah, pretty much it looked like a
And the whole time, I bet he's thinking. All right, go ahead.
pretty much to me it looked like a wrestler at 100 and a wrestler at 50, and here comes the pain match. Pretty much all the offense that the guy at 50 does on the guy at 100 looks ineffective, but the guy at 100 gets all of his finishers almost immediately from a few strikes.
I hated that.
All the while, I bet that Heath Slater's thinking, "Wait, what the fuck? Isn't this Skip
Shark swimming
Sheffield?"
with dolphins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
what are
knew
you
you
doing?
when you were the lovable corn-fed meathead, and damn it, I missed that character too. I mean, he could get vicious, and he could also say things like "yup, yup, yup, what it do,"
What it do?
which was over in England for some reason. I remember back in
should just
NXT
shout that
season
one
one when
day
they went
as
over to
usual.
England, and
Yeah.
that
No, he
phase
did.
was over.
Though he
What?
did spit out the
Yes.
right.
Do
Yeah,
Sharks swimming with goldfish.
I said dolphins.
It was goldfish with Heath Slater's hair. Or
But
maybe
yeah.
even dolphins. Who the fuck cares? Either way, it's
Sharks swimming with
that-
dolphins.
that's
Baby.
Norby right there, Lomder. Finish him.
After the match, though, I have to say that Ryback accidentally spittled
Free food. Sorry.
after the match when Ryback started shouting again. He sort of spittled on himself, like when John Cena accidentally spittled onto the microphone.
Oh yeah,
Whenever-
when the Undertaker did that during his match with Triple H at WrestleMania.
You know, whenever I see him do his arms thing, now I just go.
He says something about being a machine, but I forgot exactly what the quote is.
I need oil.
Yeah, but then again, that sort of fits his character because he pretty much is a Terminator.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if they're gonna have this thing where he blades during a match and it exposes this glossy metal makeup underneath him.
That would be interesting.
That would be over the fucking top. Like that would be like WCW in the early '90s.
Before NWO.
Yeah, definitely before NWO.
Oh my God, it's Oz.
exactly.
Nonetheless, Ryback wins. We go to commercial. Lillian Garcia's in the ring. She steps out. Teddy Long, with his big, humiliating name tag, is about to introduce the next match. Alex
I don't
Riley
know.
stands next to him,
I
Yeah.
don't know. Not sure what his name is.
having already entered while we weren't looking.
No, it was Jobber's entrance.
Teddy Long introduces Antonio Cesaro by through a note of paper. I don't know written by who. Written by Oksana. Written by Cesaro. Who the fuck knows? He
It was
apparently
probably
has that
written by-
privilege.
It was probably written by either Eve Tessmacher or Johnny Ace.
Who the fuck knows? But either way, he calls him the Swiss sensation, the rugby baller shot caller, his opponent's fright and Oksana's delight, beating every bum in the scrum and every clown on SmackDown. Thanks, Antonio Cesaro.
Antonio.
Well, this is my first WWE show, so I have to say this. Fuck the shucky ducky quack quack. It's a fucking stupid saying, so fuck
Well,
you,
fuck
fucking team, for
you.
picking up on it, and fuck you, comedian, who came up with it in the first place.
Fuck you, it's great.
I don't mind.
This is it. It's even stupider than Let the Pigeons Loose.
I disagree with that.
Oh my goodness.
It's because Booker T represents that urban demographic. So they encourage him to say funny things like that.
Yeah, I just had to get that off.
I don't think he's that ghetto. Or
No, I really don't either.
I just had to get that off my chest.
But nonetheless, I mean, I'm glad that they're putting over Claudio Castagnoli. Like, I don't really like his pose where he kind of raises his arms forward in 45 degrees and starts like tank shooting him. But nonetheless, he looks as good as he ever has in the ring, and he's not nervous. They don't really let him cut a promo, but it's fun to see him. He wrestles Alex Riley, and in the midst of it, he does a gut wrench suplex. Looks like Riley sandbags, but it could have been either person's mistake. Riley ends up dropped on his tailbone, which Booker T puts over. And we end with.
I have to. Yeah. Even though I gave Booker T crap for being told by Booker T.
Yeah, it was. It's kind of like what Jim Ross would do, except Jim Ross would go ahead and say, yeah, that wasn't really done so well. Like something like, oh, he didn't get all of that one, but nonetheless, who knows who was at fault? Maybe Alex Riley, maybe Claudio Castagnoli, maybe both. But Antonio Cesaro finishes with the Gotch-style neutralizer, and he and Oksana celebrate by making out.
Yeah, in our cheat sheet, it says that if you were to pause it at the right time, you can actually see Teddy Long's heartbreak.
I would always expect to see Teddy Hart's heartbreak because that guy's told himself and his ideas will never come to fruition. I say their ideas, they're actually delusions. But yeah, suffice it to say, Teddy Long is quite depressed. I do too.
Said pity.
And one thing those results don't mention is Oksana actively saying to Teddy on the mic, so the crowd can hear it. Now, Teddy, I just want us to be friends, but Antonio, he's so much more. I don't know where I'm going with you.
No, she didn't say that. She just flat out said we're lovers.
Oh,
yeah.
It's pretty. She said it as blunt as she could, and
that was
just like
that's even more blunt than Triple H with the sledgehammer.
Yeah. It definitely left a huge emotional bruise on the.
Rip the heart right out and eat it in front of him. Why don't you, Oksana?
Get out.
We have this huge video package of John Cena granting wishes to people from Make-A-Wish. Can always commend him for that.
And they also somewhat go over the star of the thing too.
Yep. But
and also was more than just John Cena granting wishes. There were also some other superstars that I don't remember.
Yeah, there was.
I remember the Rock being there.
The Rock was there. Triple H was there. I think CM Punk was saying hi to someone. It was as touching as it always is, and John Cena is a beacon of altruism. And despite how monotone I am, that does not mean that I'm facetious. I like I said, I commend John Cena for this stuff.
Yeah.
Even considering like how busy his schedule is to begin with, or anyone else for that matter who participates in this.
And I knew that you weren't being facetious, Chris.
No, I'm not. Believe me.
I believe you, man.
Okay, good. But our next match is Randy Orton versus Alberto Del Rio, and there's another match that's thrown out. A bit longer than most of them tonight, but yeah. Well, and it gets thrown out for a very dubious reason too.
Yeah, it gets thrown out for something that never gets thrown out in TNA. But before we run that down, I have to say that throughout the whole SmackDown, I saw fans out there with signs that says Alberto Del Rito.
Oh yeah, that they stole our joke from last year.
Yeah,
our previous showrunner made a very iconic
made by that guy that we don't want to mention.
Yeah. He lives in New.
We're going up in the world then. We're getting signs made of us.
But yeah, Orton versus Del Rio. Again, not much to say about this. They hit all their spots. Del Rio does a step up enziguri. Orton does his DDT. And the way the match gets thrown out is Ricardo comes from the apron to the top rope, and he's about to, I guess, do a high crossbody when Orton RKO's him, and that counts as interruption. Orton quashing the interruption before he could interrupt,
Yeah.
and the match gets thrown out.
Well, actually, Randy Orton wins by DQ.
Still, it's thrown out.
But yeah, I mean, this is something that
it's not a no contest. But
this is something that would just. This is just something that would be the finish of the match where the run-in fails, leaving the person who called for the run-in flat on his back, and he gets pinned in TNA.
Yeah.
No, we see that way too often in TNA sometimes.
Yes, but TNA is neither pertinent nor important.
Yeah. After this match, Del Rio goes on the attack on Orton, and he tries to injure his left shoulder.
That seems to be the MO of Chris Jericho and Del Rio. Maybe they'll start a tag called the North of the Border, South of the Border Arm Breakers.
We'll see at the end. We'll see at the end of this SmackDown.
I say no.
No.
Our next match is R-Truth with Kofi Kingston versus Jack
and
Swagger
Little Jimmy
with Vickie Guerrero and Dolph Ziggler. Oh yeah, I did.
I like how the italic fonts on the descriptions means you have to say it in a different inflection.
But yeah, we have another segment with Abe Washington, Rosa Mendez, Epico Primo, and Mason Ryan watching from backstage, and about a millimeter's worth of fucks is giving.
Apparently, they are now under the label of All World Enterprises.
Yeah, but you do get to see R-Truth in this match do the flying jalapeno, the corkscrew elbow.
Yeah, which looked pretty nice to me. And this is then again.
Actually, let me do the second debut of Roll to see how much I give a fuck. Okay, 19. Shit.
Oh man, you have to give a lot of fucks about this.
Damn.
Yeah. Again, interruption by Ziggler.
But R-Truth actually triumphs when as oh man, second time me losing my place count.
You can do it. You can do it.
But yeah. When Swagger was hanging on the second rope, Kofi hits the Trouble in Paradise, and it leads to the. And then R-Truth hits the Little Jimmy and pins him.
Yep, that jumping reverse STO, which doesn't really look like a finish in my opinion. Like he could just do the scissor kick and it'll look much more effective.
I would like to see one match with R-Truth where Little Jimmy does a run-in.
I will put over the fact that
this guy just starts selling beat up by something that's invisible
and small.
I will put over the fact that they promote a tag match for Over the Limit, R-Truth and Kofi Kingston versus Zig Swag, which they're also building up through these matches, and that again is commendable, especially for such de-emphasized division.
Well, it's more emphasized than the TNAs because WWE
we get it. TNA suck more.
It's a start. It's a start, if nothing else.
Yeah.
And hell, speaking of tag teams, we have our next match after this. Santino Marella and Zack Ryder, who each have different names for their ad hoc team. Zack wants to call it Cobra, while Santino wants to call it Team Marida.
Those are both terrible.
Yeah. They're kind of they're just cute.
Cobra, wasn't there a Cobra in Super Mario Brothers 2?
As far as I know,
I'm trying to think of the name. I thought of them. I thought Santine Bro.
No, that's a different name. Never mind.
Team Riderella.
Riderella.
I like that better.
Sounds like a pasta.
Rolls off the tongue.
Riderella.
Team Cobra, Team Rider, whatever you want to call them, they're facing Titus O'Neil and
Team
Darren Young.
fake Guido. No. Or actually, they're both fake Guido. Shit.
Yeah. Well, Santino's fake Little Guido and Zack Ryder is fake Guido. Even though he came up with the Guido before the Guidos were on TV.
Yep.
Nonetheless, they're facing Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, the one of the fastest rising tag teams. Well, actually, the fastest rising tag team, since there are only about 4 of them in the entire division.
Yep.
They're quite. I could never talk enough about how much Titus O'Neil has improved in both the mic and in the ring. Like that guy's apparently a quick learner. Like he's honed his.
That guy used to suck, and now he's passable.
I mean, he went from being a sympathetic face, the people just felt bad for him because he was such a horrible talent, to a very effective heel. He and Darren Young kind of have a flimsy finish with Titus O'Neil. It's a backbreaker, and Young does an elbow drop. Very standard fare, late 80s, early 90s tag finish, but it works. If you're going to put him over, you might as well do it some way.
It's called the Ghetto Blaster.
Oh, yes, and they also double team very well too. Santino was about to hit the Cobra on Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil ducks away from it. Darren Young clotheslines the hell out of him on the outside. Very
that was
entertaining.
That was pretty good.
Oh yeah, and the crown jewel of this segment was Titus imploring Lillian Garcia to announce them as winners once again, just so they could remind the crowd. And Titus says, "We are future WWE Tag Team Champions," and Darren, tell him why. And Darren says, "The reason why we're future WWE Champions, the reason why we're so distinct from everyone else in the back is millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars." It was a lot of fun. These two
millions of dollars.
This must be something you have to watch NXT to get the context of.
As far as I'm concerned, as someone who doesn't watch NXT, I think it's good.
Me too. I think it's good too. Though I think Daniel Bryan found his knights for his kingdom.
His kingdom of ham.
Yep.
Vegan ham.
They have Paul Bearer as the minister.
He's the jester. Oh yes.
They drag him out of the freezer finally.
Probably does think he's the jester at that point.
We go for something entertaining to something weird. It's Damian Sando.
I don't think it's weird. I'm intrigued by his character. I like the fact that he's so disgusted by every other wrestler that he doesn't wrestle him.
Well, it's weird to me because this is the first time I've seen him.
But yeah, he cuts a very wordy, a very verbose promo. Chastises Matt Striker for being confused at his vernacular. You must not have been a very good teacher if you were. And he speaks very random facts, including talking about a very rare Arctic bird, the tundra bean goose.
Yeah, it was a pretty good promo.
Yeah, I had no problem with it. He chastises people for trying to appeal to the unwashed masses who are in actuality just false prophets. He will be the one who will bring enlightenment to all these Neanderthals. Serve as the avenging sword of taste and decency. I mean, I chastised Kane for being a bit too wordy, but I think that was, number one, a consequence of his delivery and a consequence of how over the top his character is in general. I like this guy. He's snotty, he's smug, he's pretentious.
Yeah.
Nothing more to be said.
Yeah, this wordiness actually, made sense to me because I actually did get the gist of his gimmick from the promo, which is actually a pretty good job for someone who hasn't seen him before.
Yes, but enough about Damian Sando and Citizen. Let's move on to Brodus Clay.
Yeah, it's time to call our mamas again. And again,
Mama's Day.
He wrestles against Hunico, and you would expect how this goes considering Hunico.
Well, well, before the match starts, the
Ding,
two
ding,
gang
job.
the two gang up on Brodus Clay, but then Brodus Clay just shakes it off with a rape face and jiggling.
I don't think I'd associate rape with Brodus Clay. The guy,
I know. I usually do.
I'd call it more forceful cuddling
I think it was more.
and jiggling.
Someone gonna get cuddled.
Force cuddling. That's a nice way of saying rape.
Nothing moves the Funkasaurus.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, T-bone suplex, splash. Brodus Clay wins.
Well, it's the She-plex.
Not anymore. I actually don't really see him.
I thought it was the late '60s to early '70s suplex.
Well, that's
late
what.
'70s to early '80s.
Well, that's what it's
Possible.
called.
Funk. Funk was more early. Well, actually, early '70s to mid '70s to late '70s.
Funk it. What the funk? Go funk yourself. Whatever they called it.
All of humanity.
It's a popular genre suplex.
Well, our cheat sheet says it's the She-plex.
Yeah, I hear him say Chihuahua more than she, but that thus concludes the 9th match. A lot accomplished with that. Brodus Clay, the beacon of fun, but also inconsistency.
Actually, what I'm looking at is it's not capitalized, so it's just the She-plex.
No, it's capitalized.
No, it's she. Not the entire she. It's she.
It's the very aloof She-plex.
She.
But who cares?
I care.
Me.
Well, I don't. Our concluding match is Chris Jericho versus Sheamus.
Yeah.
As you'd expect, it's mostly Jericho going for Sheamus's shoulder, and they're putting the hell of that over. Like, there's really not much more to say. This is again a good match.
And again, like the other pair, this match gets thrown out with a disqualification.
Yep, because this time Del Rio comes into the ring and nope, no alliance.
No, actually, Sheamus sends Jericho over the top rope, but then Alberto Del Rio comes out and Irish rips him into the stairs, which causes the DQ.
Again, no alliance, no heel alliance. We have Del Rio and Jericho once again at odds.
But then Del Rio goes through the humiliation conga with I think it started off with if Chris Jericho. Well, the faces do their finishers on Del Rio, then Jericho enters, Codebreakers leaves, which is a gif.
Oh yeah, Jericho just kind of slips out of there, and it was very well played by him.
Yeah.
But nonetheless.
Oh, actually, no. It's the enter Codebreaker leave was the first thing. Then it was an RKO, and then the row kick.
Yep. Sheamus, you wanna give the idea that Sheamus might be able to come out on top even against the odds of his bad shoulder.
Yeah.
But we'll see how they'll hype it up in a week. Maybe not on SmackDown, certainly on Raw. And that's WWE for this week. Overall, again, nothing phenomenal, but enjoyable. Some fun segments.
And now it's time for our favorite.
Checking opinion. 6, I hated it.
6, I hated it. That's actually quite a lovely piece of satire on the video game reviewing industry, but
it's okay actually.
But yeah,
6 out of 20.
Oh,
which is a 3 out of 10.
No kidding.
But yeah, we go. Now it's time for our favorite game. What gets more screen time than John Morrison? And I have a good one. Broski's greater than Hulkamaniacs signs get more screen time than John Morrison.
I did not notice that, and that makes me smile inside. For me, Millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions, 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 millions of dollars, millions of dollars. Gets more screen time than John Morrison.
People being snobby and condescending gets more screen time. I don't fucking know.
Mega? We lost him.
He did.
Backlash. What got more screen time than John Morrison?
I don't know, and I don't care.
You watched Raw.
Paul Heyman got more screen time than John Morrison.
Paul Heyman's lack of hairline. His lack of hairline.
Nonetheless, that was the dark match for the dead Mega Fighter. Oh wait, there he is.
Yeah, I'm right here. Sorry.
I'm Christopher
Skype
says
fucked me over.
dark matches novelty of the novelty.
Plugs!
But before everyone else says their name, don't forget to subscribe to us on Flip TV. Or I thought we switched. Okay, do it.
Allie,
What?
do
Go
it.
ahead, plug.
No. Okay, fine. Don't forget that. Son of a bitch.
Don't forget to subscribe to us on Blip TV or YouTube to keep up to date with all our videos. You can also like us on Facebook. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at DarkMatch Wrestling. You can also follow us individually on Twitter as well. Don't forget to check out TRE Productions, where all our videos are put, plus lots of other great content. We're also on Reviewtopia in the community section. Last but not least, check us out at the Spoonie Experiment forums, where you can come chat with us. For the rest of these assholes, I'm your Fox friend Backlash. Good night, good luck, show is fucking over, go home.